ring the bowl.
Vibrations, man.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful.
We ring the bowl in universal oneness and feel the vibration that unites us in love and peace. And our lighted candle symbolizes the Christ-like presence in all of us. All right, my name is Dan. Hello this morning. Good morning.
Hey, Dan.
All right, man, good to see everybody. Thank goodness for the rain, cooled things off a little bit, and we needed it anyway, so that's a good thing. I want to welcome everyone out, especially those who's maybe visiting for the first time, so special shout out to you, and we're glad that you are here. If you don't mind, we have to repeat this every time. I haven't seen this happen here, but it could, so I have to remind you to please mute your cell phones, just in case, as a friendly reminder. Thank you, thank you. And before we get started here, we want to welcome back some familiar faces. They're no stranger to this community, and we got our musical guest today, Chris Foster. And then we got Carrah Quigley as our speaker today. In the way of announcements, there really aren't any. We have one, and I think an email came out this week where Dennis and Susan Breed has now offered their services as for chaplains for us. So I believe there was a number sent out in the email earlier this week where you can reach out to them and call. So that's really nice that we have, and they're licensed Unity ministers anyway, so this is nothing new to them. So they are available too, in addition to Barb and I think Valerie and whomever else that may be a chaplain here. So happy for that, and happy to have Dennis and Susan Breed on board with us here. And I believe they're back in Wyoming, right?
They're on their way.
On their way. Wow. And,
Yeah, they're in Wyoming right now, so you got it right.
wow. Okay, and they'll be going to October, I believe. Is what it
Yeah,
is?
middle of October usually,
Wow.
depending on when the snow starts flying.
Didn't her out of there. Huh? All right. Well, if everyone could please join me and affirm our mission statement together, which is listed in your program, that would be great. The Center for Universal Oneness is a place where those who want support on their spiritual journey may join with others for mutual encouragement, inspiration, and guidance. The center draws on those practices based in new thought and metaphysical approaches. The higher Christ consciousness provides the foundation we strive to live in the oneness of love. All right, that sounded great. All right, the next one, if you would affirm together our vision statement, which is also listed in the program as well. Extending into the world faith, love, peace, and joy. And Doug Martin is going to start us off with the prayer this morning.
Good morning, beautiful people. Glad you're here. Divine presence, supreme power. In us, around us, we come together to join in our recognition that we are on a journey home. We seek inspiration so that we may follow the way to the righteousness of truth. We seek guidance, for we know that our ego selves get in the way so often of the divine truths that we seek. We seek the guidance of the divine by going within and being in the silence, awaiting the word that gives us the direction. And we are so blessed. We're blessed with existence. We're blessed with creation. we're blessed with the challenge of understanding what individual separateness means, which we have to know before we can unify with oneness. We are full of gratitude, and we seek the love that binds all creation to be a part of our every waking moment, so that we can extend that love into the world in our expression. Thank you, God. And so it is.
You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Sing that with me. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. Blessed peace. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. You are blessed peace. Blessed peace is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. Deepest joy. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. You are deepest joy. Deepest joy is all that you are. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Show the way, God, show the way. I want to live in such a state of grace. Lead the way, God, lead the way. I want to live in such a holy place. Such a holy place. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. You are sacred love. Sacred love is all that you are. Sacred love is all that you are.
I have to remember that sometimes out in the world, you know, you kind of get lost, you know, and forget about those kind of things, and that's a good reminder. So thank you very much for that song, Chris. I love that. Okay, so our speaker today is Carrah Quigley, and the talk title is How to Make Mistakes in Hinduism. And let me give you a little bit of a bio on Carrah here. It's long. She's done a lot of stuff.
You don't have to read it all.
I'm not going to read it all, but
I'm here.
she's done a lot of stuff. So, but Carrah is a spiritual humanist, national speaker, emerging thought leader, and yoga meditation instructor. And I'll just say that she studied the world's religions for 19 years and has a BA in religious studies from the University of Arizona. And she's originally from Tucson. She's traveled the world beginning at the age of 9 and built a special relationship with Ireland, where she received a master's degree in philosophy and in ecumenics. Ecumenics. Okay, I was asking about that word. How do you say that? Ecumenics. With distinction from Trinity College, Dublin. So, and then there's lots more, but we all know Carrah, we all know her credentials, and we're so glad to have her here today. So, Carrah, welcome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is a talk, and I'm going to time myself because this is broken up into two. So I'm going to give half of it this week, and I believe next week the other half. Where's my bar?
It's a little bit further off.
Further on, August 5th. Got it. Okay, got it. So, if you want to take notes, that's fine. I first gave part of this talk at Oasis, and this is where Barb found me giving this talk. Now, Barb doesn't know this story, but that film that they made of that Hindu lecture I gave went out into the YouTube stratosphere, and I didn't know it, but some months later I checked it out, and it was the most viewed video for Oasis. Oasis is an organization I speak for, or speak at, not for. And what was interesting was it began to get a little bit more viewing as it went on and on and on, and I started getting messages from India on my Facebook Messenger. And what started to happen was it was starting like 3 messages a day, then maybe 6 or 7, then it got to like 15 or 20. And I started to learn the sleeping patterns of Indian people. Around 9 p.m. the messages would start, and then it would go away, and then around 1 a.m. the messages would start again, and they would go the rest of the day. So it was interesting. Now, what's really wonderful is that despite the tremendous conflict that happened from this video, I still have these amazing, I would call friendships in India. In fact, today somebody just texted me another article. I apparently, in this video, I didn't know it, made the classic mistakes every white Western person makes. And I had no idea. Some of them are ways in which Western people study religion that possibly Indians don't understand because they don't have religious studies in India. You can't major in world religion necessarily at a university. There is no formal academic study of religion like there is in the West. There's no theology. You don't study it that way. It's very different. The other thing was that I had picked up on classic historical interpretations that were mistaken, that have been threads throughout the interpretation of Hinduism in the West. They were quick to point those out. I also did not know I was up against a nationalistic movement called Hindutva. Hindutva is a movement in India that is currently taking over. It is populist, it is nationalist, it is anti-colonial, anti-Western. And so many of these people who were quite vociferous in their responses to me were part of that movement. There were some people I had to block. There were some people who followed this gentleman named Rajiv Malhotra, who conveniently lives in Jersey City, Jersey, who is really spearheading part of the movement, ironically. He is, I believe, a chemical engineer. I'm not sure. He does have his PhD, but he's written several books about how the West has really screwed up understanding Hinduism. And he talks about how the tiger eats the lamb, and the lamb goes into the pores and nutrifies the tiger with its blood and its meat, but it doesn't necessarily become the tiger. And this is his interpretation of how we interpret Hinduism. You can check him out. He's on the surface very I don't know, lots of vitriol, but if you actually get to know him a little bit better, you can kind of understand what he's talking about. He's the one that's really coming forth and understanding that Hinduism is an indigenous religion. And once you understand that it's indigenous, meaning it comes from the origin of the people in the land, then it should change and shift a little bit about how you view it. And for that reason, after 97,000 views, I took the YouTube video down. I did spend one fateful evening reading the comments. I told myself, I literally put a shield up and said, I'm going to spend one evening reading, and then I'm not going to read them again. So I read all 168 comments. They ranged from, ma'am, you are glowing and beautiful, you did a beautiful job. There are so many mistakes in this that I turned it off after 9 minutes. This woman has no idea what she's talking about. No one should ever listen to her. Please take this down. This woman is responsible for the continued colonialization of India. This woman is clearly the granddaughter of Hitler. This woman is a granddaughter of colonialists. She must be related to Queen Victoria. Ma'am, you've done a brilliant job. I can't imagine a better presentation of Hinduism from a Westerner. Ma'am, you had 20 minutes. You did better than any Indian that I know. Ma'am, you have inspired me to go back to the books. You have inspired me to light the candle to the goddess Kali. I appreciate you. Ma'am, I spent a few hours last night on our holiday thinking of you and lit a candle with my granddaughter, appreciating your efforts. Thank you so much for bringing our religion to the West. So you can see the variety. And it's true as true as true. No one knows about their own religion. Right? I mean, when is the last time you spoke to a Christian that truly understood Christianity? It's impossible. There's too many interpretations. You could speak to a conservative Christian and you could find what they say in the Bible. You could find it and you could justify it. You could talk to a liberal Christian